All right, for now, let's go ahead and just leave the band in your chair. Good morning. Let's roll those shoulders up, back and down. We're going to exaggerate as we've been doing lately. So you round and cave and then lift and pull back and squeeze and bring it down. Round, lift even higher, squeeze and pull back and down. You can even start to come up on those tippy toes as you reach. A couple more just like that for me, please. Good. This time, come up, round those shoulders, bend the knees a little, drop your head, lift up, stretch your left arm a little higher, lift the left side, and then push the heel down so you get a deeper stretch. We're going to go the other way. Right arm lifts, come up on the tippy toes, then push the heel down so you feel greater stretch. Then the other arm meets it. Bring your arms back, and then look at your hands and make sure they're not ahead. Push them back behind your elbows, or even with your elbows, and then give me a squeeze and a squeeze and a squeeze. Let the ribs pop right now, that's okay. Movement through that whole torso. 4, nod your head, yes. 3, 2, 1, step it out and tap. Two steps to the right and 4, 3, here you go. And a hamstring curl. We're going to change it up and add 3 hamstring curls. 3, 2, 1, bend your grapevine. Nice. Last time, hold your hamstring. Bring your hands in, or elbows in, palms are facing down, push back. A little quick tricep press as you swipe those feet for hamstring curls. Good, then we're going to keep those arms going, bring the toes in front. Arms can come up and down now, and let's bring them to center. Like we're doing a little tiny upright row in a very fast fashion. Good. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Add a knee lift. Arms are going to come up. And leave them there. Sweep them up and over. Bring those knees across, get a little rotation in your torso. In a moment, we'll stay on the right and double time it in 4, 3, here you go. Four more. 2 more. Last one, step touch. We're going to take 2 to the left and 4, 3, here you go. When you're ready, add a hamstring. Turn that into 3 hamstrings, 3, 2, then grapevine. Nice. One more time and then hold those hamstrings right here. Good. Hands again. We're going to push down and your tricep. Quick movement. Keep the arms going, toes in front. Make it more of an upright row. Elbows come up first, palms stay down. Good. Last 2. Last 1. Hands on your hips, knee lift. Side to side. Knees across. In a moment, we'll stay on the left and double time it. 4, 3, here you go. One more. 2, 1. Step touch. Woo! Wide stance. Up on those toes. And then take those knees out wide, pull your abs in, bend your knees, long spine, tuck it under, round and roll. Inhale the other way, chest is open, booty is up. Exhale, pull it up and in. Inhale, extend. 2 more times we round. And extend. Last time, round it. And extend. Roll the left shoulder back, roll the right shoulder back. Drop the left shoulder in, look up over the right. Back through center, other way. Back through center, one more time each way. Good. Then we're just going to go side to side, dropping that shoulder in. Making your way up to a standing position. Roll those shoulders. Shake that out. Let's go ahead and have your chair handy. Grab your band for me, please. Keep in mind when you're holding the band, whenever you can, you just hold it between your thumb and your index finger rather than clenching. When you can't, you can clench, or to make it even easier, you just wrap it around your hand, a nice secure grip. And then be careful about either cocking your wrists down, but more likely up like that. Okay. For starters, we're just going to do a little bit of a nice chest opener and some upper back work. So legs can be a little bit apart, shoulders back and down. Let's lift those arms overhead, pull out on the band, and then pull down, right? So we're coming up and then out and down. Feel those lats. And again, I'm not worried about your ribs popping up right now. We're focusing on that good posture. Back of the neck is long. Have nutmeg posture. And again, if you can just hold it for this one, maybe between your thumb and index finger without that tight grip, maybe that's a little nicer for those little muscles all down your forearm. 2 more times. Good. Leave it down this time. Palms are still up. And we do a small pull out and down. Out and down. Out and down. Out and down. 2 more times. Out and down. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Bring that band behind you. We're going to go into a wider stance this time. Pull your abs in and simply sit down in a plie position. Pull in, make sure your tailbone is long, you're not scooted back. And then you can have the option to be up on your tippy toes for a little more balance, a little more work in your quads. And then palms are up and that band is tucked around behind you. All we're going to do to start with is roll the shoulders open and pivot open, right? Now, you can stay down the whole time. You could add a lift when you open, you could come up and down, or you can just stay down here in that isometric contraction, totally up to you guys. Beautiful, just a few more here, but I do want you to feel it in your quads. So if that means you go up and down, that's fine. If it means you stabilize here, that's fine. Last time, bring those arms in, flip the palms to the sky, serve your platter in your balanced position. Palms are up, elbows pull back in and tuck in, and then we press forward. As you press forward, go up a little toward your shoulders. Make sure you don't pull yourself over. So now we do have to start using some core muscles to keep that balance, staying in that bent knee position. Hopefully you're feeling those quads by now. Mine are starting to shake a little. 2 more like this. And then bring your arms straight in front of you. Straighten them out. You're going to drop your elbows 1 inch and straighten, straighten, straighten. Again, still working on those quads because we're in that isometric contraction. I hope you feel this. All the way straight, very little bend in the elbow, 2 and 1. Woo, bring all that up, relax, drop those shoulders, rock them in and out of your ears a couple times. Then we're gonna lasso that band around the bottom of your left foot. Bring the band into your right hand. Bend that right knee. And then that band is just gonna, again, you're just gonna hold it in that left hand. Shoulder to right hand, left hand, right hand, sorry. Turn your left toes in, straighten that leg out for me. And then we're gonna lunge into that right leg and we're gonna lift that left leg up. One more time, bring it down, press your heel down. Right arm, option to do a bicep curl here. And then final option, we put those two things together. Leg lift with that bicep curl. So we are on an angle with this leg isn't coming behind me much. It's mostly turned in, it's mostly outer hip work. Just 4 more here. Beautiful. Leave that band around your left foot, but bring the tail into your right hand. Maybe you want your chair there for balance. You can figure that out as we start this exercise. So this time we do want to square our hips, pull your abs in, and then that leg is going to kick up and back, up and back. At the same time, arm can go forward, straight arm, and you put them together. So you feel shoulder work on that same arm as leg, and a little more booty work this time. If you are leaning on that chair, make sure you're not hunched, you're extended. Two more. And relax. Cross that left leg over the right. Bring your arms up and over. Welcome back, babe. Hips go out to the side. Very nice. We're going to shift on over to the other side. All right. Band goes across the bottom of your right foot and into your left hand. We walk out with that left leg bended a little bit. Right leg stays straight, toes are turned in, heel is out. So it's going to be a lateral raise with that leg, a bicep curl with this arm, and the two together if you want. Four more. Very nice. Keep that foot, that band around the same foot, move it into the same hand, lunge into that left leg, square your hips up. And again, this is the back leg, and then that front arm is going as straight as possible, thumb facing forward, spine is long. And relax. And then once again, we're going to cross that leg we just worked over. So right leg goes in front of the left, hips go up and over. And back through center. All right, this time, again, chair, you may need it for balance, you might not, but there will be some balance happening in this one. Let's step into that band with your left foot. and then bring it into your left hand. Have a little bit of tension for now. It's going to change in just a second. Actually, for this grip, go front to back, right? So palm facing the back of the room. We're going to start with that leg up. Just bend and straighten that leg a couple of times. Might not feel like any big deal. Then leave that leg straight. Now give me a tricep press back. And then we put those two things together. If you're not feeling that enough in the quad, you need a longer tail. So you bend your knee and then you straighten your arm and your leg at the same time. I want you to feel it in this quad. So hopefully that leg is high enough and that band is tight enough. Pinky toward the back of the room, elbow bending and straightening, keeping that beautiful nutmeg posture. Nice and tall. You should feel this in that quad by now, I hope. All right, relax for a second. Keep everything how it is, but you can step back. You can bend that knee. Not quite done. Flip your grip this time, so now the palm is up. You can lift that leg out to the side this time, but don't shoot this hip over to the right. So stand up. Do that. You know what? Before you do anything, I want you to get this. Give me a hip lift, drop. Hip lift, drop. So it might look like I'm doing something with this leg. I'm not. It's this hip. Put your hand on this hip for me. Feel it go up and drop. This hip, right hip. Feel it go up and drop. Up and drop. Good. Up and drop. And now up. Oh, so you did knife that leg. Now bring that other leg up, way up, way up. But notice if you start to tip, stay tall. Bend the knee, press out to the side. So now I have a flexed foot and I'm opening to the side, right? If you want to add on, you can lift the arm up at the same time the leg goes out. Don't have to. I'm starting to sit in this hip. Are you? Be cautious of that. Keep that hip underneath you. Almost done. These are killing me. And relax. This time we'll give it a more honest stretch, a more thorough stretch. Woo, so step back with that left leg. Tuck your hips underneath you. Bend that knee. Drop into it. Left arm up. Reach behind you. Reach, reach, reach. Then a little to the side. So now you feel it in that hip flexor and that outer hip. And then we get to come up and do all that on the other side. We win. It's okay. So we're going to start with that foot in the band. And maybe by now you kind of know how much slack you do or don't need to have. Remember, we're going that overhand grip this time. So palm faces the back of the room. We bring that leg up. We bend and straighten. And then we add that tricep extension to it. So pinky faces the back, keep your tall posture, keep this shoulder back. It might want to roll forward as you press back. Just a few more. And relax, step back with that same leg, tuck the hip under, bend into it. Just a quick stretch. All right. Then we bring that leg out to the side. We're going to lift it up. And this is where this hip wants to shoot over. So we're going to hip lift, drop, hip lift, drop, hip lift, drop. Hand on this hip. I want this movement to come from this hip, not the other leg. My other leg is just hanging out in space, right? Lifting, lifting. And last time, lift, make sure that hip stays underneath you. And then that leg comes up. You bend and straighten and flex and point. You can add a little arm lift to that if you want, don't have to. Are you starting to sit into that hip? I already was. So if I see this happening to your posture, I know that's going on, so stay tall. Try and just keep fingertips here. I hope you all are. 4 more. 2 and 1. Bring that down. Step back with that right leg. Tuck those hips under and then bend into it. Then as you're ready, right arm up, reach behind you, and then over to the side. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring that up. Spin that back again. All right. So we're going to go ahead and tie a loop in this band. It's going to be doubled up and then tied, right? So go ahead and put it around your thighs and then secure it. Now, if you know this is going to be a challenge to get out of this, you could just hold it with your hands if you want, but it'll probably give you kind of bad posture because you have to bend over to get there. But if you can get that nice tight loop, that'd be awesome. Okay, and then scoochie over to the right side of your mat. Pull your abs in, stay tall, step out with that left leg, and hopefully your bands will stay together. Good. Step onto that leg and lift up and come in, but not together, right? Just to end a little bit. Step out and come in. Step out and in and out and in. Go the other way. Out and in, out and in. So you don't really want your feet to come together. They can come maybe within 10 inches of each other, right? Depending on how tight your band is. And then just, depending on how much space you have, you're welcome to go farther, right? You might be able to take 10 steps and then 10 come back the other way. I only have space for about 4 or 5 steps. But you bend into it and step out, and it may seem subtle at first, but eventually I hope you start to feel it along the outsides, right, of your thighs and into your glutes and your hips. A couple more here. Almost there. All right, this is the last one. So wherever your starting spot was, bring yourself back to that, please. And grab your chair. Right leg is going to step forward a little bit and have a bend in it. Left leg, we're turning it out, right? So toes are pointed outward, abs in. We're going up and out on that angle, right? So I'm not straight behind and I'm not straight to the side. I'm off on an angle, same as where my right leg is. Good. Come back to center. Keep the right knee bent. Straight to the side. Hey, babe. Stay down. Straight up. Now we already worked that quad, so it should feel a little more, but you may feel this some in your hip flexor too. Last one, leg goes back, abs in, long spine. So arm and leg, same side, pressing up. Two more. And then just to top it off, we go back to that first angle, but this time instead of toe out, I want toe in. This standing leg should not be loving this, by the way. Bring it up. We're not even going to mess with the stretch yet because, we're doing it again. Other side. Left knee bends. Right leg is off to the side on that angle, and it's turned out. Abs are in, and we lift. I bet this side feels more sore because what we already did. Back to center, left knee stays bent, straight to the side. Woo, to the front, lift it up. Oy vey. And then here we go, straight leg back, abs in, reach it. Nice straight long leg. And then we top it off, toe in this time, and we're back on that angle, whatever this is to you, 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Beautiful. And still, we're not stretching quite yet. And we're heading down to the ground and do that last little bit of outer hip work. So do this carefully, right? If you need to untangle, do so. But if you can come down to the ground without untangling, you're leaving everything where it is. You're stacking up, waistline lifted, arm right underneath your ear, quick little clam series. So first version, shin lifts parallel to the ground. Good. Second version, put your heels together, turn your toes out, lift your top leg away from the bottom leg, leave that gap there. So maybe even put your hand there so you won't close down, right? To remind yourself to keep about a fist width. And this one should be getting to you by now. And then last version, heels up in the air, open that fist width, and then open from there. And again, don't close your legs all the way. You just want to leave that gap. And relax. Still not stretching because we still have the other side to do. So mosey it on over, arm right underneath your ear, legs are stacked, waistline off the ground, and we lift as a unit that top leg. Good. Then heels go together, toes apart. Give me a fist distance between your knees and open from there. And again, you're only going to come down to where the fist is. My muscles are starting to just shake. Woo. Just one more round, knees down, heels in the air, open fist distance, higher, higher, higher. And relax. Oh man, good news. You can roll that off of your legs. Just go ahead and leave the knot while you're here. All right, we want to start to stretch that outer hip, but we want to do it pretty gently because that was quite a bit. So we're going to roll over onto our spine. Keep your left knee on the ground or left foot on the ground and just really gently cross the right ankle. No big deal yet. Then I want you to reach around, grab that right knee and pull it in a little bit, and then just press it away. Then this time I want you to pull it towards you and then push the foot over to the left. So a little farther away, but a higher, more isosceles triangle, and then push it open. And that should give you a stretch in a different spot. Then I want you to grab that knee and pull it into your right shoulder blade and then pivot it to the center of your chest. And then now you should really start to feel that stretch across your hip at this point. Good. Cross that knee all the way over the other one. We are not doing a twist. Okay, so all I want you to do is push your right hand on the ground and tip your knees to the left until your right toes touch. And that's where I want you to stop. And I'm hoping that you really feel this, right? If I go into a twist, it goes into my back. I want you to feel it right through here, just where we worked. And then come back through center, come back to that first figure four, and then stretch the right foot out on the ground and take a moment. We're going to bend that left or right knee and cross the right ankle, left ankle over, and just be gentle for a moment. Then we'll pull that knee in toward us for a moment. We're going to press it open again, and this time we're going to slide the foot farther across so we create that isosceles triangle. Good. Then we're going to hug that knee up and in again, over to the left to start with, then to the center of the chest. And that should already give you that really nice hip stretch. Then you're going to cross those knees all the way over, arms out into a T. Use your left hand to guide your knees to the right until your left big toe just touches the ground, and then stop there. If that went too far and you feel your whole left side off the body, use your right hand to push some of that back down. But this should just be a very passive stretch, but the weight of my right leg is pushing my left leg open more. Then come on back through center, and we'll slide back to that first position, and then left leg out, and right leg out. So hopefully we cured anything that we heard. Okay, let's go ahead. We still have that loop, so we're going to bring that loop around our wrists, right? So here we go, and then arms come up overhead, deep breath in. On the exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, bring your arms in line, and then I want you to push out on the band till you feel your triceps, maybe even your shoulders, and you should feel some shaking at this point on those arms. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows down by your side, deep breath in. Exhale, arms go up overhead, lift yourself up, push out, out, out on the band, feel your triceps. If you want to feel them more, pivot your hands away from each other so palms face opposite directions. You may feel shoulder work also. Exhale, bend the elbows, come down. We'll pick that up just a little bit. Inhale, exhale, lift, float, stretch overhead. On the inhale, press out. On the exhale, come down. Again, we lift and we press on the inhale and we exhale down. We lift overhead, we press out. We come down on the exhale, lift up, arms go overhead, press out. And down, just a few more. If your neck is bothering you, bring your arms up overhead and do this with your head down. You're still going to get a lot of the same work. Got it. A couple more here. And relax. All right. Don't hate me, but we're going to take that band, that loop, and put it over our ankles. Or do hate me, but just for a minute. All right, and then we're going to bring our legs into tabletop, and we're going to push out with our ankles just enough so that everything is perfectly lined up. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, tap your knees. Inhale to reach. Exhale, tap the knees. Now, option, when you extend your arms, you can extend your legs and press out. Bend and tap, press out. Bend and tap, press out. If you feel like your outer hips have had enough, point your toes outward, right? If you want more, point your toes in. That will be really annoying, by the way. And again, if your neck is bugging you, you can do this down, right? We're just going to do two more, and then we're going to do our last add-on with the loop over our legs. So here we are. Head, neck, and shoulders are down on this one. Pull your belly button in, pull your ribs down, arms out into a T. Open those legs just a little bit so you feel the pressure. And on that exhale, or excuse me, on that inhale, move the legs away from you. Exhale at the bottom, push out on the band, and come back up. Inhale. And lower on the, sorry, it was an exhale. Come on up. On the exhale, and then inhale, legs go forward. So just two-part breathing. I don't know where your instructor was. Pressing out as you go down, pressing out as you come up. If you need a quick break, take a break at some point. Couple more here. Hey, sweetie. Beautiful. Bend those knees, put the feet flat on the ground. You get to move that band now. Take it off your feet. All right, this is your rest break, untying your knot. So I hope that yours is loose enough, or that your bands are cooperative enough that you're able to get that knot out of your band in a moment. Do what you need to do, sit up if you need to. Grab a pair of scissors. I'm teasing. Cut the band into shreds. You guys are probably faster than I am. Gee, who tied this knot? I hope you're resting. All right, mine is coming clean. Hopefully everybody else has theirs now. All right. So now we go to that single, right? So we unfolded it and we're going to put both feet in it. Now, if you feel unstable, you're going to put the band across the tops of the feet and then bring it around behind. So you're kind of lassoing yourself. We're going to walk our way up, up, up. So your hands are except your feet. And then we're going to separate those feet a little bit. We're going to pull the belly button in and we're going to rock here, right? We're going to hold at the top. Make sure you're not rounded and tucked. You're lifting tall. And then you exhale to roll. You inhale, lifting here at the top, squeezing those shoulder blades back and down. Yes, you are adorable. Nutmeg, lift it up. You guys are too, of course. Exhale to roll. Pausing at the top. Keep that going for me, please. Rocking and rolling, open leg rocker. And on the very last one, next time you're up here, let's pause and stay and see how much you can lift. You may be able to flip your arms and use them to lift your legs even higher. Bend the knees, put the feet on the ground, scoot yourself back, and sit nice and tall with a gentle bend in the knees. You still have your feet lassoed. Grab your bands and just give me a nice seated rowing here. At the very end, give it enough of a squeeze as if you're popping a walnut between your shoulder blades. Watch your chin to make sure that it doesn't lift up. You have it tucked just a little bit so the back of the neck is nice and long. Just a few more here. And relax. All right, we're going to turn this into our roll-ups if you want. Go ahead and put your feet on the ground. At this point, you should lasso your feet so that it's secure. The band isn't just under your arches, because if your feet come off the ground, whap, right? So lasso yourself and then exhale, hinge back in and roll down. You are welcome to stay there. As a matter of fact, maybe these first couple will all stay there to make sure that the band isn't popping up. Then you use your biceps as much as you need to sit up. So we just hinge back, we inhale, hold it, we exhale to come back up. Now you can start seeing how far you could go, right? Making sure that those feet stay on the ground so you don't pop that band. You can go all the way down, you can come all the way up. If you have the band wrapped around your feet securely, you could straighten those legs, but you have to promise that you have it wrapped around your feet, right? Not just behind your arches. And if you don't like that, go back to the bent knee position. I know that some of you don't even need these bands, but the advantage of using them is you can really take your time and maybe feel those abs more than you usually would. All right, on this last one, let's stay down wherever you are. So you know what's coming. We just moved our upper body without moving our lower body. And you were all able to do that, whether it was from a seated position or all the way up, all the way down. So now let's see what would happen if you bring your legs up and out and then walk your way up so your hands are really, really close to those feet. And then you're going to try with those legs out on an angle to bend your elbows and bring yourself up without lowering your feet. Right? So your feet stay up and you roll down and you roll up. Again, trying to keep your legs about where they were rather than kicking them away or lowering them towards the ground. Next time you come up, stay there and try the same thing with the legs. Torso doesn't move, legs move away and come back up because you're moving your arms. And then you know what's coming. Lower the body and the legs, lift them both up. Now I'm doing a partial teaser to start with. And then eventually, maybe you go all the way. So you start from that completely lying down position, deep breath in. Exhale, everything comes up. When you get to the top, you inhale, you try and create that beautiful teaser, chest is open, shoulders are back and down. And then you exhale and bring it all down again. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, we lift it up. Try and find that best teaser at the top. Hold for that moment. Exhale down. We just have two more, whichever version you're doing. And then hold at the top. Woo, bend your knees. Untangle. So this is your frenemy. During class, it might not have been your best friend. It might have been your enemy. But now it's your friend because it helps you get a really nice stretch. So I really like to put the foot in the bands parallel, if you can, if you're able to do that, and then put that across your right foot, choke up on the band. Have tension, so you're pulling your toes back towards you. Try and get your right shoulder on the ground. Then press the ball of the foot towards the ceiling, and then point the right toes. Then pull the toes back, ball of the foot presses up, heel presses up, and then we press the ball of the foot to the sky, push the toes to the sky, articulating through those little bones, toes pull back, ball of the foot pulls back, heel presses up, and then one more time we're going to point. And then we're going to give ourselves enough slack that you can put the right elbow on the ground and let that right leg hang in space. So now it should be a really nice inner thigh stretch. Left leg is going to counterbalance by dropping to the left. Then I'm going to use my left hand as I come back up through center, straighten out the left leg, flex through the heel, walk yourself up, one hand in one strap in each hand, and then we're back to articulating for a moment. And then we're going to bend that knee in till we feel a hamstring stretch. Try and keep your tight, however tight the band is, keep that, and then try and straighten the leg, and that should give you a really deep stretch. Then move the band, both bands into your left hand, turn your right toes in, and then sickle the foot and pull it back. All right, so just play with some movement there. And then again, give yourself enough slack that your left elbow could rest on the ground. Let your right leg drop to the right, but see if you can keep your right hip on the ground, right? Not a twist, just a stretch. If you can keep that right hip down, you'll feel that beautiful stretch there. And then come on back through center. We're going to take the band off and just move it over to the left. We're going to put the right leg across the left. Do that traditional thread the needle with the left leg up, point and flex, rotate both directions, bend the knee, and then right over left, hug those knees in. Now, as you drop your legs towards the left, you'll feel that hip stretch, and you can stop at any point and stick with the hip stretch, or you can twist. Come on back through center, straighten both legs out. And I really hope that that right side feels, mine feels like it's in a gully, about 2 inches deeper and longer and lower than the left. So I'm going to even up. Please come along with me so you won't be lopsided. We're going to put that foot in the band, parallel again. Choke up on it with that left hand till I have a good amount of tension pulling my toes back, and then push the ball of the foot and the toes up. And then pull the toes back and the ball of the foot back and the heel up. And then we'll do movement through that foot a couple times. Try and keep the left shoulder down as much as possible. And then finally, I'll give it some slack so that I can put the left elbow on the ground and let that leg hang in space. Let the right leg counterbalance to the right. Pull everything back through center. Use one band in each hand, really choke up on that, and then straighten out your right leg, flex through the heel, and then bend that left knee in, do a couple of those little motions with the foot, and then pull it even deeper and straighten it out. Oh, big, big stretch. Move the bands to your right hand, create more slack, turn the toe in, go through some movements through that ankle on this angle, and then drop the right elbow on the ground. My left leg is hanging out in space, so I get a nice stretch across that left hip. Then I'm gonna bend that knee, remove the band, foot across. Traditional thread the needle, right ankle, point and flex. It should feel pretty good by now, nice and loose. And then we bend it. Left leg crosses over, hug those knees up and over to the right. And as always, you can stop there when you feel the hamstring and hip stretch, or you can twist it. Back through center, stretch out your legs, point your toes, feel that opening. Exhale, make your way to your hands and knees. If you do roll-ups, you can do that. If you have your band there, you can use that if you want. And then we'll just cow and cat. You can roll it forward and back. All right. I'll quit and play. Okay. Then we come back. We're going to stretch those toes out, tip it back, walk it back, pedal up those feet. Wide stance, yes and shake no, bend your knees, roll cat, inhale cow. Bring it on up for your curtsies. Thank you.